So now I'd just like to talk some about ways to avoid attracting a narcissist into your life, or if there are narcissists in your life that you're not happy about, ways to kind of repel them, to get them to not want to be around you. So there are a few, I guess you can say there are a few powerful ways and a few powerful things that can cause narcissists to feel repelled by you, to feel they want nothing to do with you. And if you've experienced having narcissists in your life in the past and you want to change certain things about yourself, to not be so much of a narcissist magnet, then it's important that you make those changes in yourself such that narcissists just won't find you attractive. You're just not really the cup of tea they're looking for. Because narcissists, when they look for their targets, when they look for people who will supply them, they look for people of a certain profile that have certain things on offer that stroke their ego, in a certain way that give them the good feeling that they need, that kind of counters their inner torment. They have all these boxes, these theoretical boxes that they want their target to tick. And if you don't want to be on the narcissist radar, if you don't want to be targeted by them or manipulated by them, then there's certain things that you can change in yourself, which mean that they probably won't want to have much to do with you, because dealing with you would sting them, basically. Dealing with you would cause them discomfort. Dealing with you would exhaust their energy. So in terms of the kind of things to work on yourself and the things, the things you need to kind of exude and demonstrate within yourself that narcissists don't like, I think the first one I'll focus on is just learning to feel comfortable in your skin. And feeling comfortable in your skin goes hand in hand with, not requiring so much or any external validation to feel good about yourself, but rather feel good about yourself because you know your worth, you know your self-worth, you cherish the things you have. You know how to feel good about the things you have. You go out and meet people and do work and do all that. But whilst you do that, you're not always seeking validation from everybody along the way, because there's a certain level of self-sufficiency within you. And people who have that self-sufficiency, a sense of self-sufficiency, and don't require so much external validation from others, and don't go out to seek it, people who don't go out to seek external validation, in other words, people who come across as feeling comfortable in their own skin, that really does not sit well with a narcissist, because narcissists don't feel well in their own skin. They feel uncomfortable in their skin. And when somebody's extremely comfortable in their skin, it kind of rubs the narcissist up the wrong way. And unless the person is flimsy and the narcissist can easily take them down, the narcissist most likely would want nothing to do with them. So that's important, just feeling comfortable in your own skin and thereby not requiring, external validation. Another aspect that I think is very important, and again, if you think about it, a lot of these are in some way, shape, or form tied together, but another aspect that I'd like to focus on is not being a people pleaser, not trying to feel that it's your job to make people feel good. It's not your job to make people feel satisfied about themselves or about anything else. And something to watch out for. So toxic people, and narcissists in particular, they like people with people-pleasing tendencies. And when they find those people, they always create situations where they cause the target, the target of their attention, the object of their attention, you. They manufacture situations whereby you're the only one that sits between them and their kind of satisfaction. So they kind of have you on the hook to doing certain things maybe for them, to please them in certain ways to make them satisfied. And if they know that you're the type of person who people pleases, they will constantly kind of set you up so that you have to go above and beyond what is reasonable to people please them. And whatever that entails usually involves you feeling drained, exhausted of your energy, completely depleted, because they have ways of leveraging your natural tendency to people please against you and in their favor. But ultimately, it comes to, it culminates into your exhaustion. You're just not really knowing why you feel so exhausted, but they know how to play that very well. So yeah, if recognize the people pleasing tendencies within you, and just kind of letting it go over time, working on it, accepting that it's not your job to make people feel happy. If you think about it, if somebody's not capable of making themselves happy, you could give everything you have. You could give all your energy, all your attention, your focused attention. You could even give them your money, your house. They probably wouldn't be happy for more than like 10 minutes. So if you think about it that way, you could give your whole life to somebody who's hard to please, and you still wouldn't please them. So you need to kind of get off that that routine, that rat wheel of trying to people please people who cannot be pleased, because ultimately they're just using that against you. Another aspect that I'd like to focus on in terms of, the traits that narcissists seek in people, and, a trait that they would use against people, are those with people fixing tendencies. So maybe, if you see something wrong, that you think is wrong in somebody, maybe about their behaviors, beliefs, just the way they carry themselves, and maybe you feel sorry for them, you want to fix them, you think you can fix them. People who have this kind of idea that they can go out and fix the people around them to improve their lives, that can be a very dangerous trait to have when it comes to narcissists, because narcissists will prey off of people with people fixing tendencies. They will spot that in you, and they are already planning. Sometimes they've noticed that trait in you before you've ever spoken to them, and they're already kind of planning behind the scenes. Sometimes not like specific planning, but they're kind of contemplating behind the scenes ways that they can use that to get supply, basically, for them, which for you would typically mean falling prey to something that almost seems like a scheme of sorts, where it's just the narcissist being themselves. It's just the way they use people. They're always kind of creating traps for you. So if you have people fixing tendencies, beware of the narcissist, because they spot those traits in people, and all of a sudden they will make themselves out to be the most juicy target for you to want to fix. And once you've kind of committed yourself to wanting to fix them in your own mind, because that's what the narcissist wants, they have you. And you don't. The thing is, sometimes you do this just in good nature and your good heart, or just trying to be a good person. But you have to really be careful, because some people will really use those traits against you. And the thing is, narcissists can't be fixed. If any narcissist did want to change at all, it would have to be down to themselves, and there's obviously a lot of work involved. But you will never fix a narcissist. Whether or not a narcissist will ever change, okay, maybe some might change a little bit. Maybe in theory some could change, but it's not you that's going to fix them. You will fail 100% of the time, and that is the truth as best I can put it out. So just be careful if you have these people fixing tendencies, because that can really backfire on you in a way that can cause you a lot of heartache, suffering, and so on and so on. So we've touched on, 3 traits that we've touched on so far were, feeling comfortable in your own skin. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't be a people fixer. And I think the final thing, the 4th point that I'd like to focus on, is just don't give yourself away too easily. Don't be an overgiver in a sense. Don't give your good energy and your good thoughts or don't heavily kind of project your positive aspects on those who don't deserve it. Don't feel too much empathy for people who haven't deserved it. Don't trust people too much who haven't deserved it. Don't give away your love so easily to people who haven't deserved it. Anytime you're kind of giving away those positive things about yourself, whether it's empathy, love, positive attention, positive focused attention, too much caring. Certain types of people, if you're doing that too indiscriminately, you'll eventually find yourself giving it to somebody who's taking it in all a bit too much. And it kind of feels good for you at the beginning because somebody's really absorbing your good stuff. But for these kind of energy vampire type people, they're creating a black hole for your good energy. And what they're doing is they know how to get you hooked in a sense where you want to keep on giving, but then you don't know how to stop. And it is a black hole because it's a one-way stream of everything you have to offer into them. And they create situations such that they make it very, very difficult for you to stop because they get you hooked. That's what narcissists do. They get you hooked in so many different ways, shapes, and forms that you can't stop. And you find yourself being chronically depleted, chronically unhappy, chronically, sick or ill even. And this is what happens when you don't have yourself balanced, feeling balanced for too long. And narcissists will very quickly make you feel unbalanced in a way that you never felt before. And then you're in a situation that's hard to get out of. So that was the final kind of trait I wanted to just kind of touch on, like not to have if you don't want to attract narcissists. So don't give yourself away too easily. And if you just kind of keep those points in mind and just make sure that you're not putting yourself out there in the way of being a narcissist magnet. You're not putting yourself out there in the way of wanting to fix people who can't be fixed. If anything, they'll feel repelled by you. They'll be careful around you. They won't want too much to do with you. So those are all very powerful tools, powerful traits, powerful things to have in yourself to protect yourself from a narcissist and also to feel more fulfilled.